My name is Dzavik, and I'm a transformation operations executive with expertise in implementing strategy, helping companies overcome their fundamental and important challenges. My work engages leaders and employees to overcome the obstacles that derail most implementation efforts and help make the change stick. Today, I'd like to discuss the future of work, specifically around hybrid working and the Great Resignation. I will outline the discussion in 3 sections. First is how we got here. 2, what are some key questions that leaders and their teams need to answer? And 3, what are some initial ideas and recommendations in tackling these opportunities for your teams? In this video, I will tee up a point of view about the future of work. So the key question is, how do we get here? The lockdown caused by the pandemic accelerated many trends and overnight broke down assumptions about our daily life and work. There are a number of management practices that have collided so violently over the past 2 years and have caused an acceleration of change. I will summarize these theories in the 5 ways. First is in our approach to work, concepts such as design thinking, agile, jobs to be done, re-engineering, etc. 2 is engaging the worker, bringing our whole selves to work, purpose-driven organizations, diversity, inclusion, and mental health and well-being. 3rd is working trends, the knowledge worker, the gig economy, the career nomad. 4th, there's been significant increases in productivity through technology, through robotic processing automation, virtual reality, artificial intelligence, and tools such as Slack, Teams, Zoom, Google Docs, etc. And 5, our ability to use data and to be able to measure and act upon our understanding of the formal and informal networks inside organizations. The result of the economic and human impacts from the pandemic itself and the collision of these management approaches is that we are living through a huge societal transformation and shift. And that has caused leaders and employees to question absolutely everything. And this era in modern media is fondly now known called the Great Resignation. This is really about a shift. Many of the points of view on the subject are written in context of pre and post-COVID. However, we are never going to go back to what was before the pandemic. This isn't a minor change. This is a major shift. Gavin McMahon wrote that 70% of people want remote work options, yet 65% want to connect in person with their teams. That is an amazing paradox. This isn't about working from home, full-time, part-time, virtual, or in person. That is a false choice. This is about designing first around the work that needs to be done, and second about where and how it is accomplished, not the other way around. In brainstorming with 2 great friends and colleagues, Dr. Kim Richards and Andras Vicek, we were sharing our observations and personal experiences coming out of the lockdown. Dr. Kim coined a new term to describe what we were seeing and feeling, and she called it the Great Awakening. People are using this opportunity to challenge assumptions about work, career, success, and they've been awakened to a new set of possibilities. This small brain trust converged on a set of principles in designing work from a human-centered point of view and capitalizing on this new awareness. We also agreed that one size doesn't fit all and that specific questions need to be asked for each individual organization. In my conversations with leaders across a broad set of organizations, industry, and continents, I found that leaders and employees are saying 2 very, very different things. Leaders are asking, how do we continue to hit our targets, maintain productivity, delight our customers, and retain employees in such a rapidly changing and hostile landscape? Conversely, employees are saying, I don't just want a job. I want more for my life. I want more from my life. I want more flexibility, recognition, growth, challenge, connection. One reason people are leaving their jobs at a record pace is because this dialogue is out of balance. We've lost trust in our approaches. We are applying approaches that are built for a different time, and they're actually confusing as we're applying them all at the same time. We're applying these policies and practices for our organizations and teams worked in an entirely different era. So to me, this comes down to be about being human in our work. And there are many valid reasons why organizations and teams are needed to thrive in this new world. I personally believe that we achieve more together than we can alone. I also personally relate to the statistic of wanting to have the best of both worlds, working from home and working with people in the room. I believe that people do their best work when focused on a common purpose and are striving to achieve a clear and elevating goal. Therefore, given these factors, we must intentionally design from a human-centered point of view for this new reality. In seizing the opportunities presented by the Great Awakening, we need to listen, find the right balance for our own organizations, and uniting leaders and employees on their view of work and those expectations. 2 very basic questions. Why are we an organization, and why do we need teams? So how do we begin to answer these fundamental questions? There's an approach. As my good friend and mentor, Greg Pryor, has shared, we need to create easy and compelling employee experiences to help people feel connected, to learn, to grow, and to do their best work. Leaders can help create these conditions, to co-define these futures, and employees can invest, engage, and help validate that these solutions actually meet their needs, their team needs, that are critical for the organization to thrive going forward. So as you begin to design intentional ways of working, please ask the following questions to your stakeholder. First, how might we enable our people to do their best work? What processes, training, practices, support is needed for them? 2, what are the key characteristics of teams in this new world? What types of teams are needed? When are they needed? Third is, what are attributes of leaders to help us navigate this new world? What are our expectations of our leaders, and what are our leaders' expectations of us? For me, a big part of work is being human and being networked in a way that allows me and my teams to solve problems and do their best work. So each organization has its own set of strengths and weaknesses, and a key premise is that we need to design our work, our structures, and policies intentionally for our own teams and organizations. For this discussion, I'd like to share 3 initial ingredients that will help tailor your approach to this new world of work and capitalize on this great awakening. The first is to engage your formal and informal networks inside and outside of your organization to help define the work that needs to be done. Help your colleagues build and maintain healthy connections throughout your organization that we know are so critical for well-being, innovation, and problem solving. 2 is sculpt the roles and work to what is needed now and in the near future. And again, be prepared to change and shift. Build learning and candor and safety into this process. Think about creating amazing work experiences for your team. And 3rd, please test and learn. Don't wait to be perfect. Second, set expectations that this is a new world. We are learning and we need to do this together. Our collective success depends on it. So in conclusion, today we shared how the pandemic accelerated changes to our world of work. 2, we identified key questions that we should answer in capitalizing on the Great Awakening. And 3rd, we outlined a few approaches that help set you up and your design for success. In closing, I'd like to thank Hugo Tucker and the Tuckerstone team for the opportunity to share these ideas and thoughts with you today. I'd love to hear your ideas and feedback and continue this dialogue. My contact details are below. In closing, I'm wishing you and your teams much success in the year ahead. Thank you.